Yeah.
It's like and people are going to say stuff regardless.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't know. And with football, every week's different, every game's different. You just, nothing's set, and that's what I think people say things that are, that are going to happen, that should happen, and then something else happens, and they try to go back and, change what they said. And it's just football is, I mean, any given day, anyone can beat anybody. So I think it's just keeping that in mind, and then obviously, like you said, just realizing that there are a lot of people that do know what they're talking about, but there's way more that don't know what they're talking about. So kind of understanding that.
Did you watch the Heisman show?
I did. I watched not everything leading up to it, but the end when they announced it. I watched that.
Did you project yourself at all there and onto that stage?
Not really.
What would it be like?
Not really. I just kind of watched and enjoyed, and I always like to see what people say when they get up there. And congrats to Joe. Obviously, he's had an unbelievable year. What he's done has been crazy. Being able to watch that has been cool, and obviously he's a great player and deserves it.
Do you know Joe or Jalen very well?
I don't know Joe super well. I met him out at the Manning camp. We talked a little bit, but I know Jalen a little bit better. I've talked to him a few times out in California at something this summer, and then one other time. But and he was friends with my tight end in high school goes to Alabama, so they were friends when he was there. But I know Jalen a little bit better.
I mean, I don't. I'm sure somebody would argue this, but I would say the four best quarterbacks in college football are probably in the playoff. Do you think it's is it a cool thing to have that level of quarterback play all kind of vying for a national championship now?
Yeah, I mean, I think now it's just, all these teams have great quarterbacks, great players, but just shows how important it is to have a quarterback that can, manage the game, run the system and do it well, and all those guys do that. So it's definitely going to be 2 fun games here at the end of December.
Do you have any good Justin Fields stories? Well, I don't know if you can ask this. Do you have a relationship with Justin Fields?
Yeah. I thought you were serious. I was like, again.
Is there anything that stands out from you to him, like any moments that you guys had together?
I think just because I remember seeing him at some camps when we were younger, and I remembered his face, didn't really know him well at all. And then out of nowhere, he just, shot up, gained a bunch of weight, was just this great player that I never saw him play or anything. So then his junior year, he kind of blew up, and it's been cool, like I said before, to see him work, and I feel like he's really earned everything that he's gotten.
When you worked out, did you guys ever talk about, I'm the recruiting, right? No, I'm the...
No, we never talked about that.
T was saying earlier that he's seen his catch on the sidelines at the ACC title game dozens of times now since. Has he made a better catch than that you've seen? Maybe something in practice, maybe.
He does stuff like that a lot, to be honest. I mean, some of that stuff it looks crazy, but I've seen him do a handful of times. But that's the best catch I've seen him make in a game. But I don't know actually. That one against Texas A&M over the middle, we kind of reached back. That's close. But those 2 are probably the best I've seen him do in a game.
Catch in Louisville that they reviewed and they still called him.
Oh yeah, that was a touchdown too. But no, like I said, he does stuff like that all the time. You kind of get, as a quarterback, get used to it. But then you think about it's crazy that he can do that.
Do you intentionally throw it 6 feet out of bounds and reach it with his toes?
I try to throw it a little bit out of bounds just so the defender couldn't have a chance, but not quite that much.
Trevor, what kind of teammate is T. Higgins? What's he like? Off the field or in the locker room, in the film room?
He's a great teammate. I've never heard him, ever complain about. I mean, even before last year, early this year, whatever it may be, when he wasn't getting a lot of catches at some point. I mean, I'm sure there's been points where he hasn't got a ton of catches, and I've never heard him complain, and just always been selfless. And you see that when he plays. I mean, his downfield blocking. Well, Travis will have the ball, and he'll be blocking 30 yards downfield for 5 seconds until Travis catches up. So just little things like that shows the kind of player he is and how he feels about the team.
Yeah, there's a persona that wide receivers, kind of the meat
Yeah.
position on the football field. You don't see any of that in T.
No, I mean, all of our guys are like that too. They're really selfless, and they want to do things the right way, and they want to help the team even when they don't have the ball. So that's the big thing that Coach Sweeney says: impact the game when you don't have the ball in your hands, and they do that well.
For you though, not have to deal with that kind of thing. It's probably good for a quarterback to have guys like that.
Yeah, it's nice because I don't got to worry about, okay, this guy hasn't got a catch or whatever, and trying to spread the ball around. I can just find who's open and get it to them, and they do a really good job of supporting one another and being unselfish.
Trevor, sorry if we've already been asked this, but is there any motivation there for you that the other 3 quarterbacks in this playoff were the 3 quarterbacks on the All-American teams?
I didn't even know that, to be honest. But not really. All the awards and stuff, I don't use that too much as motivation. You know, I feel, you know, I'm confident in who I am and what I can do, and really just thankful to have the opportunity to prove it with this team. You know, it's a special team, and just excited to get 2 more games, hopefully, to prove that.
I know that obviously so much more goes into it than just the quarterbacks, but is it kind of cool to be part of a Final Four of the kind of the 4 elite quarterbacks in the nation?
Yeah, it's awesome. We were just talking about how, you know, I think it just shows, you know, how the other guys have led this season and how they've played. Obviously, it speaks for themselves, but it's really cool to be a part of that.
And your connection with Justin, obviously, did you kind of see this coming to fruition so quickly, growing up and being 1-2 in the state of Georgia and nationally, and then here you guys are just a few years later on the big stage?
Yeah, I mean, I saw whenever he went to Ohio State, obviously Ohio State's good every year, and I knew that kind of once he went there, and you know, they would be really good this year. I didn't know how good. Obviously, I hadn't seen them, but they've been awesome. So it'll be cool to have that matchup.
Trevor, last week, Tom Bob guest talked about how you make you sit out next season.
Not really. I'm not going to sit out. I mean, that's just all. I mean, that's all I can say. It's, you know, keep it simple.
That's what people said after the national championship game, right? You should sit out the rest of your career and just.
And it's the same, you know, people that said I should sit out are telling me how bad I am the next, you know, first couple games. So it's, you know, that's what I said. It's the same thing. It's just how things get twisted and turned. So I just don't pay any attention to it.
So you will not be sitting out next year?
No.
Is Chase Young the type of guy that you immediately break the huddle, you step to the line, and you're immediately scanning to try and find out where he's at because they move him all over the place?
I think, yeah, to answer your question, yes, that is something that, you know, you got to be aware of. A great player like him, just his presence obviously has a huge impact on the game. But you know, we're not gonna change anything we do. You know, we're gonna do what we do. It's been successful, and you know, we've played good players every week. Maybe not quite as good as him because he's a great player, but we're not gonna change our whole offense to try to contain him. I think we have really good players too, so we're just gonna do what we do, and obviously have to keep him in mind because of how good he is. Good. All right, y'all.